I hate to say this, but this car gets hand-me-down parts. It doesn't cost me anything to work on except for time. It's kind of nice having a car like that. It doesn't cost you any money. Just your own time. Yeah, it's kind of what I need right now. Now that this thing is in here, that pulls in a very, very inconvenient place. I should probably pull the front of this car over this way some, but that means I have to move more stuff, and I'm just not into that right now. I'm trying to freaking get some shit done. Let's do this. Ah! Probably going to start by mounting some stuff and putting hoses where they belong, like for this factory air oil separator. Kind of missing some stuff. Got some stuff flopping around. I think I'll start with cleaning and tidying up that kind of stuff, and then I'll decide what I'm going to do with this charge pipe. I lied a little bit about saying this thing doesn't cost me any money. I do have to order material to play with it just a little bit. But I have some parts that I'm going to try to make work. They're OEM parts off of a different Celica I'm going to try to use for the airbox. And I think that would be kind of cool if I can make that happen. So, okay. This is my first time working in the barn since I've kind of cleaned it up, or whatever you want to call it. So it's probably going to take me more time looking for stuff to make stuff happen than it is going to be working on stuff. But I already got into my hose bin, which is fun. I already made a mess over there again, so I'll have to pick that up when I'm done. But did you know that Tire Shine works really good at cleaning up hoses and like couplers for turbos? Like, you know, the charge pipes, tubes, charge tubes, whatever you call them. But this is a factory hose. I forget what it's for. I think it's a heater hose for the MR2. I'm going to cut it and make it a little breather for this. For whatever. I lied. I'm not. It's just slightly too small. This engine had all of its parts at one point, so I should be able to find them to put it back together. Where are they? We're stuck on step one again. I'm going to pick another step, I guess. What's the other step? No, I want to do that one right now. I can't do that one right now. I'm going to keep looking for hose. You know, having your hoses all in one spot is kind of overrated. You can't, you got to dump them all out to find shit in there anyway. So, like, what's the point? Just leave it on the floor. Perfect. I'm going to have to move on. I can't find any hose. You're just to sit on my butt. Maybe it is kind of convenient having this pole here. I can easily climb up. Luckily this one's concreted into the ground, so I can't worry about knocking it over like some of the other ones. This is shaped poorly. So is the other one, but I'm going to deal with that one. Alright, we're going to see if that other Celica's air box fits for this. I'm hoping. This I do know where it is. Yeah. That's not going to work either. Inlet's kind of in a bad spot for this location on this car. And it's also too tall. Stuck on step 2. Man, what am I going to work on today? I don't have any material to make that charge pipe. I guess I could. I don't even know how to have that. We're going to have to reconvene. I'm realizing that like 5th gen, 4th gen, 3rd gen parts are a little bit different than 2nd gen, and 2nd gen is the most parts I have for the 3S GTE engines. But I think this hose is going to work for what I'm trying to do. So I think we've successfully passed step 1. We had to go forward and then back, and now we're going forward again. Hell yeah. We're back to being stuck on step 1. I split it. It's just a little too old. And honestly, it's not long enough either. I can't get the other hose to connect too, so. After having a little bit of a cry about not having any fun because I'm looking for stuff and not working on stuff, I just had to do that apparently, and this magically appeared. And it actually fits. So I can stop crying and get back to work. Past step 1. I think this is it for another project. I used to have a big tote full of all kinds of different size couplers, 2.5, 3, all those things. Yeah, couldn't find it. Finally found it, and I'm going to start working on the intake for this turbo, and I'm going to build the charge pipe around that instead of vice versa, because I think it'd be better if this was a nice straight shot instead of the charge pipe being right in the way of where I want it to go. Yeah, I guess that's what we'll do now. Luckily, I have some tubes in stock. I do have this that I made a long time ago. I do have this that I used on my 4th gen 3S GTE swapped ST185 Celica. But as you can see, it has a blow-off valve recirculation provision, and I don't have this blow-off valve anymore because it stopped working. So this is basically what I'm going for, though. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah. So maybe I guess I'll recreate it with these new tubes. Here's a question. I have this awesome Ellis bandsaw, super sick, but the problem is when we were moving, I dropped something on the what do you call it? I don't know. The hydraulic drop control? Yeah. I dropped something on it. Well, it dropped while I was driving. Not that I had any control over that. And it busted the tube right in between there. So the question is, do I fix that now, or do I continue on with the project that I started on already? Good question. I don't know. I'll think about it and see what I do. All right, well, since I was going to have to cut stuff anyway, I decided that I would fix the saw because it's been too long. And please, please, please don't judge me too much. I'm very much a guy that just uses what he has available. So this is what I came up with. I had this pre-crimped hose that is 1/8 MPT, I assume. I assume that's what that is, but check this out. Woo! Does it work as good as it used to? No. Does it work? Yes. Like I said in the last video, sometimes good enough is exactly that. Good enough. We'll be able to work on making some charge tubes and an intake for this turbo. So, in my book, success. Now I can continue on with the first project I was working on. I lied. Still can't continue on with that project of cutting and welding charge tubes. My welding table's kind of full of crap. So I guess I'll have to clean that shit up first. Like I said in the last video, it was a preliminary clean. But the cool thing is, eventually I'll get there, and I'll be able to freaking do some I'll be able to do some fucking work in this place. What I'm going to be using for welding these tubes together is whatever this thing is. I guess it's a Miller-Matic multi-process. Yeah, let me get a little closer to that so you can see. Yeah. Miller-Matic multi-process welder. I don't really use the MIG welder part of it, but it's nice to have the option. And it also runs on like 120 volts also, not just 220. So that's pretty cool. I'm probably going to be running it off of 120 volts because that's pretty much what I got down here in the barn. The heavy stuff goes to this plasma table, which right now is down for some maintenance. Another project for another day. But yeah, it's a pretty decent welder. I like it all right. It's air-cooled which after having a Dynasty that's water-cooled, I much prefer that. That welder is just super nice. It's hard to go to anything else, honestly. At work we have like ESOP welders and stuff like that, and an Everlast, and they're fine too, but nothing is quite like that the Dynasty. But you know, it's also pretty salty, but I like it a lot. But yeah, we're gonna be making do with this guy, and we'll see what we can do. On a project like this car, like what this car is supposed to be for me, is no stress, only fun. So therefore, I don't even have a Sharpie on me. I'm using a screw to scratch the tube to mark it so I can cut it. I'm just being very, very loose. Very, very loose. And sometimes it's a lot more fun to be like that. Like if you saw how I did the exhaust on this thing, I didn't back purge it. I used like mad used tubes, and it looks awful. I didn't even give a crap about how the welds looked. I just did it just to have fun, because sometimes if you're always craving perfection, dude, it'll drive you insane. But that's not what this project's for. This project is to be a fun driver and to have fun while I'm working on it. So I don't even know if I'm going to prep these tubes. I might just weld them together. We'll see. I'll prep them. I really don't have the tools here I need to make this job a little easier, like reaming out the inside, but apparently the inside of the table works good. I'll just keep doing that. Don't judge me. Oh man, my nose is running. I had a little spider friend pop out of this thing. The last time I wore it, which is freaking months ago, a spider fell out of it then too, and I tried to like prepare myself for this time because I knew there might be, and I tried to like wipe it out and whatever, but the spider came down from its little strand of web right past my face again for the second time, only a different time. I let it live like I tend to, but I like you at a distance. Please stay away. Is it good? I did a good job at doing a bad job, which is exactly what I was going for. All right. All right, so you can see, it has a little jog in it. The little jog here is for the intercooler tube to come up and make its way up to that guy. That's gonna have to be a different day. I have to see what material I have. I don't think I have the material I need to do that. I also don't think I have the air filter for this. Slightly unprepared. It's been a while since I've been down here working. It's not like riding a bike. That's for sure. Fully charged. I guess I'll unplug you. Yeah. I really miss having my tools here. That is not fun. I lost my keys. Oh, there they are. Please run. Woo! It's been a minute. I realized that I started to make noise kind of like my dad when he does stuff. He's like, "Arr!" I'm basically the same now. What happened? I'm not even an individual anymore. I'm just my dad. Fucking A. Probably not going to use that filter. What a disgusting, disgusting coupler. This coupler used to be on this car, I don't know, shoot. The first time I bought it and put it together and got it running. Perfect. Maybe. I'm going to have to trim that down some, I think. It's a 45. That's not really pointing kind of where I want it to be. I'm really trying not to spend money on this, but I'm probably going to have to. Which is a little upsetting. Trim that back. It would be in a better place. But also I'd be crashing into some wiring harness stuff. Not to say I can't move that stuff, but I kind of want to leave it alone. Whatever. Another thing that was a problem with that last tube that I had made was that I was hitting the hood. So I made that little flat part of it. I can show you. You want to know a secret? I didn't cut this out. I just hammered it down and then put a plate over it. Yeah, that's the kind of mood I was in when I made that. Beautiful. Air doesn't care. I'm starting to realize that these 5th Gen 3S GTEs have a really inconvenient motherfucking throttle body position. Like, see how fucking high that is? Jesus Christ. I mean, it might clear the hood. I don't know. I mean, if this clears the hood, we're right almost there. I don't know. I don't know what to say at this point. I'm a big fan of tube transitions. I think they look cool. I don't know if you can tell, but this is 2" and this is 2.5" and this is 2.5". But what I think I'm going to do is buy a coupler that's 275 to 2" and maybe like a 30 degree instead of a 45. That'll help me get it to where I need it to be, I guess. And yeah, you can kind of see what I'm going for here. But anyway, I have to order some stuff to get that moving on. So I guess I'll move on to something else. I don't know what that's going to be yet, but I guess you'll find out here in a minute. Well, I changed my mind. I really don't want to spend money on this. So I'm just going to make do with what I got. So I'm going to make that coupler work. I'm going to do some sketchy stuff with taking angles out of tubes in a way I don't like to do anymore. I'm kind of against pod cuts too at this point in my life. They take way too much time and they also look kind of messy, and I'm really bad at doing it with aluminum because I don't know why. I just can't do it and I can't make it look good. So I just don't try anymore. So I'm going to see if I can make this happen. Look, I did it. This is a little bit sketchy, the way I did that. That little joint there. There's already a weld there, and I cut like an angle through it, and I left the weld there, but I kind of ground out the outside, and I kind of left what was in there in the inside, like the penetration, because I didn't have any way to grind it out here. And it welded a bit funky, but I think it'll seal. It just looks really bad. Blah, barf. That one turned out okay. I kind of left some like high-low spots. I didn't exactly line it up perfectly, but it turned out okay, and I didn't have to spend any more money. So success. All right, cool. I guess I'll move on to figuring out something else. The next thing I should probably figure out is mounting the battery, and I guess then I'll do the brakes after that. Kind of need the battery so I can start it, and kind of need brakes so I can drive it. So I think that's what's next. That turned out pretty okay. I'm not too upset about it. The only thing I'm kind of upset about is how close this is. But $0 spent. Moving on. I memorized all of Wikipedia instead of having friends. Don't break my glass. Oh, gee. God damn, how the fuck do I do stuff like this? Hey! Woo! The hood closes without hitting stuff. Cool. Hey, that doesn't look half bad. Very cool, very cool. I need a hood prop. Do you have a hood prop? That's not exactly what I want. It'll do. It'll do for now. Definitely will not be using that filter. There was a mouse nest up in that. It's got a lot of stuff in there, but it's just for looks for right now. Kind of get my spacing right. I'm going to order the same one from the same place. Man, I really don't feel like mounting that battery. I'm probably going to have to put it all the way in the back of the car. And that sounds awful. That sounds like an awful time. I'm going to have to lift up the car anyway, I guess, to do the brakes. So maybe I'll run the battery cables underneath. Another thing I don't really like to do, I like to run them through the cab. Decisions. Help me make decisions. I don't like making decisions. Off camera, I decided to do a little bit of digging. Try to see where I could fit this stupid fucking battery. I was thinking about putting it where this, I guess you call it an air resonator box, whatever you want to call this, used to sit, but the battery's just too big. I'd have to cut some metal. I didn't really want to do that, and I was thinking I was going to have to cut up in here as well on the chassis frame rail, or whatever you want to call that. Didn't want to do that really either, but I'd rather have done that than running a battery in the back of the car and running a wire the whole way up front. That being said, I was digging around in the trunk. And I did find this. This car did have a battery in the back before. I guess luckily I saved the parts. I don't remember it having a battery in the back, but I guess it did at one point. So that's probably what's going to end up happening. I don't like that option, but it's kind of the only one at this point. So, yay. As they'd say in Monster Garage, freebie! This came out of my 185 Celica. It even has a 140 amp breaker attached to it. So I guess this guy's gonna live somewhere in this area, like so. I hate it. I hate it. I do not like this option. I do not like it at all. I would rather it be outside of the cab, closer to the starter, closer to the alternator. But I done fabricated stuff up in the way, so that's what we're gonna have to do. God damn it.